Hey, it's Mike here from the TestComplete team with a couple of quick tips for you on how you can expand your test coverage using external data sources. So I have an example of a very short test here which interacts with a user registration form. This is the form to register for our online store. And you can add details like first name, last name, email, username, data entry. Now we can create a simple test with hard-coded values just to check the functionality works, that we can log in, create an account, log in as a certain user. But that's a very simple test. Let's expand the coverage of this by using a wider data source. Now you may have data sources like database tables, Excel sheets, CSV files, but TestComplete also has the ability to generate data using the test data generator. So under the test menu, click on generate data. First we generate a variable to store our table of data. And in the next screen, we have a wizard where we can enter different types of formats. Everything from simple integers to maybe real names, real values, postcodes, email addresses, and even customized strings. I've created one here in my test already under the variables tab, and you can see an example where I've created first name, last name, email, and some usernames here from a regular expression. How do we bind this to our existing test? So I've created the test already. You can see my hard-coded values are here. So all I need to do is select the relative operations I want to data drive. This can be all or just part of your test. Right-click and click on Make Data Loop. So we first either create, which I've already done, or select a variable. So I'm going to choose Next here to show that we can use Excel, CSV, connected databases, or use a table variable. But I'm going to choose the variable I've just shown. In the next screen, we see a preview of our table. So we've got 100 rows of randomized data here. And I can choose the records to use. So for the purpose of the demonstration, I'll just use the first 10. Now we choose, relative to what we've selected in our test, what values we're going to overwrite. So instead of having the hard-coded value of Mike, I'll use my first name in my sheet, and so on and so forth. Notice here you can also update property checkpoints if you're selected. And that's it. I've created a data-driven test. Let's run it. There we have it. The test completes. We have our log, as we usually do on screen, and the test in a data-driven test will run as one consecutive series of actions instead of running multiple instances of the same test. So you can see our log with all of our different values entered there. We can also do this in scripted tests by using a variable, such as my registration data variable on line 2 here, and then iterating over the values of that variable by using the built-in helper methods in TestComplete in a while loop. So we take our variable, we start at the top level record, and we iterate through using the next iterator. And that's it. Now you know how to data drive your tests. Happy testing.